Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are back in the PMDG 777-300ER as UAE Emirates 35 with service from Dubai over to Newcastle in the United Kingdom. With a flight time of just over 7 hours, we're taking approximately 315 passengers and 65 tons of fuel. We'll be cruising at 340, but step climbing up to 380 later in the flight, departing off 30 right here and arriving on 07 into Newcastle. For Emirates, they are the largest operator into Newcastle aircraft size wise, so it is captains only when arriving into Newcastle because the 777 is so big for the runway. So it will make for an interesting approach. With all that said and done, let's jump into the flight deck and get the aircraft set up. Right, so now we're in the flight deck. As you can see, I'm using a texture pack for the sort of weathering around the flight deck. It's on the flightsim.to website if you'd like to download it. It's the same person who did the lovely one for the PMDG 737-800. It's really nice. It just gives it more of a weathered look. As you can see, just started the overhead panel now. It's very simple on the 777. Just make sure all the buttons that we need that are on. And it will take a couple of minutes for the aircraft to boot into life. While we're waiting for that, let's have a look at the route today. The arrival looks fine and the departure out of here looks fine. Not really much to add. The routing today, actually, let me take you through it on my chart. So it's going to take us out 30 right, just north to Qatar, over Kuwait, into Iraqi airspace, over the northern part of Turkey, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, over Berlin, sort of north of Hamburg and into Denmark, and then descending over the North Sea into Newcastle. So, a bit of a bus stop tour of Europe as we fly through. Well, it's the airspace really tight, so we've got to go through many countries on the way through, haven't we? And the scenery we're using here, of course, is the Inibuilds Dubai with the free Dubai landscape. And the scenery when we get to Newcastle will be the payware Orbx Newcastle, which is really nice. Right, aircraft should be coming alive shortly. And the livery is on the flightsim.to website as well. It's the Emirates pack that comes with the old liveries and the new liveries. Right, let's get some figures in then, just so the aircraft, we have fuel. So we're going to take 65 tons of fuel over to Newcastle today. It does say we've got 61, but there is a bit of a storm going through the UK. The south of the UK is being hit by some storms. And quite high winds, and it's making its way up north. So I'm just going to take some extra fuel because I know what Microsoft Flight Simulator is like, just in case I need to divert. Our diversion airport is Birmingham. I know it's a bit far, but that is an Emirates base as well. So is Manchester, but we've picked Birmingham today. Right, so we're taking 200.4, sorry, for the payload, and we are at OMDB, and we're going to go enter our position in there. We'll click route, and we'll request init off of SimBrief. We already set the loads and stuff, so we'll just go route, and we'll wait for that to load in as well. There you go, it's loaded in. So everything's ready there. Perfect. Yeah, so all the uplinks have come in. Just making sure they're all okay. We'll clear them off. And we'll load the flight plan, and that's uplinked to the flight plan page. And the runway we're taking off of is 30 right, which is the closest runway to us actually, which really saves us a bit of time. So we'll have a look at the taxi charts. I've already had a quick look, but it's just a straight line across over to 30 right. We'll activate that. Now departures. We are on 30 right, taking off on the Ridder to Fox. That's there nicely. The arrival's a bit funny into Newcastle, so they haven't given us an arrival, but I know they have an approach in one of the transitions that takes you to the airport and then back out. But I don't know whether the 777 could do it because it's speed restrictions and stuff. So what we might end up doing is going ILS-07, and I'll just vector myself north of the airfield and bring myself in manually instead of taking sort of the pre-planned ones in. So I don't think the 777 can do them. We'll have a look through the flight plan just to have a look as we go over. There you go. So yeah, it doesn't look like it can do it. So we'll try a couple of more things just to see if I can clear up this arrival. If not, I'll just pop some fixed rings in and we'll deviate from the path on the way down, and I'll vector myself in. It shouldn't be too bad. We'll go Newcastle number 1, see how that looks. Yeah, it's still the same. Okay, what we'll do is we'll leave that and we'll go direct to we'll just do our ILS-07 and we'll leave it like that. Let me just try number 2 first, sorry. And I think it'll be the same if I remember correctly, but I just want to make sure. So it'll give us an updated VNAV path, which might be a bit better. Don't know if Newcastle... no, it's just the same one. Okay, so we'll leave it, that's fine. So we'll just go ILS-07 and we'll execute that. Lovely. And the flight plan looks fine anyway, so that's all sorted. So looking at the charts as well, arrival over into Newcastle straight in ILS 2200. He wants us at CF-07, which is fine. Let's pop into the performance page and we'll accept all of those. Lovely. So that's all in correctly. 340, 185, 200.4 and 7.6 are reserves. We've got legs on the first officer's side. I'm doing the flying down there. I'll get the APU running because we're about to push back shortly. Right, let's get the iPad up there and let's get some performance figures in. So we are departing off 30 right, weather and takeoff weights, all looks fine. And we'll go thrust limit, calculate, and it wants us to takeoff of 50 degrees, selected temperature, and the takeoff is going to be flat 5 with a stab trim of 4.8, but it will go to 4.75, lovely. And we've got 165, 167, 168, and on the iPad we've got 165, 167, 168, lovely, everything matches up. So you get 168 plugged in to the panel. Left flight director, right flight director, LNAV, VNAV, and we'll go up to our cruise of 34,000 feet. Is it 30? Let me just double check, is it 34 it wants us at the start? Yeah, 34,000 feet, okay. Lovely. So, we'll get some fixed rings on as well, and we'll stick the iPad back in its spot. QNH, just set that now. 1003, lovely. So the AP is on, we'll get rid of the external power. And we'll get some fixed rings in. So we'll go runway 07. /5/10, and we're going to /115. Lovely. Have init reference on that page, legs on that page, and let's get all the ground equipment cleared off. Let's service the tyres as well, because I know what they're like. And it looks like we're nearly ready to go. So we're going to pre-plan pushback, simple pushback here, and pushing back nose left, tail right, and then the taxi shouldn't be too hard as well. It's just a straight line across 03 right, and then over to 30 right.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Let's get the checklist sorted then. So, oxygen checked, flights checked, flight deck and door, speeds are done, trim set, CDU pre-flight, which you need the beacon on, which we'll get on now, and that is all done. Taxi briefing, so we'll do that shortly. We'll get that checklist done now, and we'll get the hydraulics on. Those are all done. Lovely. And let's just see outside if the tug is...
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Right, so release the parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
Get the fuel pumps on
Yeah,
as
we'll
well.
start in the sequence.
Thank you. Right, just pushing. Let's get the engines started. Thought the air bridge was still connected then. No, it's not. So we'll go engine number 2 to start. And oh, engine page, you need that on. That'll help. I'll throw the fuel in. And that'll start nicely. Love the 777 how it does it all automatically. It's brilliant, isn't it? So that engine's starting nicely. And we'll wait until pushback has been complete and we'll start engine number 1.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
I'll start engine number 1. That'll start nicely there. And there is
Ground.
the scenery
You may
in the
disconnect.
background. The
Okay, sir. Cleared to
birds
disconnect.
around birds
Pin has been
and stuff.
removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Lovely, so that looks like we've got 2 good engine starts, all being that engine number 1 does idle in a second. Yeah, so there's the click, so both engines have started nicely. And we get the APU off, taxi lights on. That's easy, that's the overhead panel scanned done. We'll get the flight controls, we'll go flaps to position 5. We'll wait for them to travel to position 5 before we start doing the flight control check. Full right, full left, full forward, and full back. Now for the rudders, full left centre, full right, back centre. All flight controls are free and correct. And we'll go back to the checklist and we'll go anti-ice, not required, we're in Dubai. Recall checked, nothing on there. Auto brakes, flight controls done, ground equipment is clear. Before takeoff, flaps are 5 and selected. So we'll release parking brake, add a bit of thrust. Don't mind the ground handling equipment that's in the middle of the taxiway, it's just a bit of a glitch with the Dubai scenery. So like I said, the taxi route is very simple. I'm going to taxi straight ahead for a couple of seconds until crossing the first runway, and then we're going to go right, and then Mike 15 Alpha is where we're going to enter the runway. Full length, because we didn't do any performance calculator for any other intersection, so we'll just go full length. So we'll add a bit more thrust and get rolling. Someone's left the Donata luggage loader on the right hand side. It's just been smashed up by the G90 engine on our right. It's only a small error. This scenery is brilliant. Get the lights on, so strobe and the turn offs. I said 03 right earlier, it's 12 right. I don't know why I said 03 right. It must have been a flight I've done the other week that had a 03 in or something. So 12 right we're crossing. Windsock looks like it's not moving much, so it's going to be a calm departure. We'll take this right, and then we'll there's cabin ready, brilliant. We'll take this right, and then onto that intersection in a second. Right, so this is the taxiway here. Right, we're not on VATSIM, so we'll just go straight on the runway. And I left the lights on, so we'll just roll on. So the departure is very straightforward. We're doing an LNAV and VNAV departure. It's straight out. There's a bit of a speed restriction for the first little bit, and then we'll speed up to 250 knots. We're going to go straight up to 340, follow the SID, and it'll take us out over the ocean, and then a left-hand turn up towards Qatar and Kuwait. Not much really to say else. Anything, if there's a problem before 80 knots, we'll reject. Anything over 80 knots, it'll have to be a major failure. After V1, we'll continue flying. If there's an engine failure or a tyre failure. Shouldn't be, hopefully. Right, we'll park it up here. And we'll spool them up. Stable, toga, set takeoff thrust, light forward pressure on the stick, speeds alive, keeping that centre line. Rotate. Up we go. Positive rate, gear up. Keep it on the flight directors. And say goodbye to Dubai. As we climb up, there's the city pack. It looks really nice. Inibuilds have outdone themselves. Lovely, okay, continue climbing. It's going to keep us at 185 knots for a little bit though, so keep it there. Right, autopilot on. And it's accelerating now. Flaps can go to 1. And say goodbye to land for a bit as we go across the ocean. And there's the cityscape, that's really nice. Flaps up now, get clean. Lovely, so that was an easy departure. Not much going on, to be honest. Standard. And the after-takeoff checklist is complete. On the blank lower DU, lovely. Notch headings. Turn off the taxi light. And off we go. Right, so everything's looking good so far. Clean the aircraft up nice and quick. We're on LNAV in now for the climbing. Got 340 set. And it's going to climb all the way to 340. So guys, there's not much else to do until we start our descent into Newcastle. So what I'll do is I'll leave you with some climb and cruise highlights, and I'll see you in about 6.5 hours when we're descending into Newcastle. Hello and welcome back as we descend into Newcastle. Pop the weather radar on and look at this mess that's in front of us. Actually, Newcastle Airport is fine, it's just the surrounding area. There's not much cloud over the airport, so we should be able to do an alright approach. It's just the surrounding areas of more north than Newcastle, being battered by this storm that's coming in, so it's not very nice, but we'll deal with it. All the descent checklist have been complete and the altimeters are set to 1003. So, get some speed brake out, slow the aircraft down now. Yeah, I've decided to vector myself around. We'll fly through this little bit of bad weather here, but they like to keep the aircraft north of the airport. South is the actual city of Newcastle, so they won't want to keep you over there, would they? So, EGNT, and as you can see, it's broken at 400, overcast at 600, 1003, 16 degrees, it's okay, and 350 at 7 knots, so it's not the best, not the worst, it's okay. Where's the airport? Oh, it's not this way, it's the other way. Or is it? Oh no, it's this way. Yeah, this is the way to the airport. So, we're probably going to get full length. I've selected Orbx 4, and it's going to take us just past the waypoint. Yeah, so it should take us full length. If we're lucky, we'll get off at the intersection on the left halfway down, but I really highly doubt it. So we're about to hit that bit of a storm. Doesn't look the nicest down there, does it? There's the cabin ready. Not too long to go. So I think we've been really lucky here. We're gonna sort of slide through a bit of bad weather and a bit of good weather, and there's a bit in the middle where it's completely fine. I think we're just gonna go through. I mean, that is the storm over there. If you look on the weather radar, just to the left of the nose now is a yellow cell. There's a nice straight bit of nothing in front of us, so I think we're gonna be really lucky. Right, so we'll turn left in a second, and we'll start getting the aircraft slowed down as well. Update the weather, still the same. Turn 240 degrees. We'll slow down the vertical speed a bit as well now. We'll slow down to 240 knots. Right, so everything's looking good so far. Just watching the speed a bit. Weather still doesn't look that nice outside, but as you can see, it's all clearing up in front of us. There is a cell right on the end of the runway, approach path, so we'll cut that now. We'll come in just short of that and miss that, hopefully. And if it doesn't move that quick. Making sure the aircraft's speed's good. We're going to get ourselves a bit low. We're 4,000 feet, so we'll slow down to 500 feet per minute. Doesn't matter if we're low, we've got visual ability, so okay. We're going down to 220 knots now, because we're about to turn in. We'll go direct now to centre fix point 07. LNAV. I'll sharpen that turn up a bit. There you go. Thrust coming up now. Slow that descent back down a bit more. Match up the headings. Flaps 1. That scene looks really nice. The scenery up here at Newcastle is really nice actually. 600 feet per minute. I'll do 500, that sounds about right. Yeah, that cell to the right hand side, we've just missed it thankfully. So we are a bit low, that's okay. It's not too bad. I'd rather be a bit low than a bit high. Just watching the speed. It's holding it quite nicely actually. We haven't had to keep getting the speed brake out. ILS is coming in nicely now, so we'll keep it like that.
2500.
2500. Just try and stay on top of it, get the speed down, because when we turn in it's not that, probably coming on about a 10-mile final, but because we're in the 777 I just want to slow it down. Right, so flat 15 now, go down to 160 knots, and here comes the left turn, arm the speed brake, approach, slow that rate of descent down, and that's a nice ortho down there, that's quite crisp, that looks really good. Flat 15's out, and we have a localizer alive, localizer captured. Looks like it's going to bring us in a bit wide and bring us in a bit more. Yes, quite wide there, and shortly we'll get glide slope. Yeah, that scenery in front of us looks really nice with all the sort of bushes and farmland. That looks really nice. There you go, the aircraft's finally figured out where the localizer is, and we captured the glide slope. Gear down. Double check the speeds now. 138. So we'll go down to the 20 speed, and 143 is our final approach speed. Plus 5 onto that. 138. 143. So go flaps full now. That looks really nice out there. Brilliant. Right, so we're fully stable. We're on speed. Handled that quite nicely actually. I thought it was going to be a bit more tricky.
1,000.
Now let's concentrate on the landing to 1,000 feet. Disconnect my aeroplane and keep the throttles in auto throttle mode. And I'll just hand flight for a bit now. It's probably going to get a bit bumpy as we get lower. Every time I fly into Newcastle in the sim, it's bumpy. So try and keep it straight and narrow. We're not going for a butter today. Short runway, no messing around. Right on the 1,000 footers. Yeah, it is a bit windy now. You can feel the sort of a yaw happening. That's it. Yeah, keep having to bring it over a bit. Stable though. Getting a bit high. Correcting.
Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums.
Continue.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Got the thrust. Hold it there. Down we are. Keep it central. Speed brakes up versus green decel. Missed the first exit, that's fine. Right, stopping's assured, manual braking. Lovely. And welcome down to Newcastle. Brilliant. Wasn't too bad, was it? Yeah, you can tell that it's a bit weird on the eyes because in your head you know the aircraft's massive and you know that the runway looks really narrow, so when you're coming down my small corrections that I'm making look like massive ones, and you start to get a bit twitchy. But like I said, no messing around. We cut the thrust slightly early, held it, didn't hold the nose too high, didn't go for that butter. Main gears hit the 1,000 footers, textbook landing. Stow all the speed brakes and flaps, and we'll taxi the whole length of the runway, and we are going to be on stand 9, which is the Emirates one, the only one that can fit the 777. There is another remote stand that can fit this aircraft, but that's usually reserved for the TUI 787 that does seasonal flights to Orlando and Cancun from here. Taxi on by, and you can see, look at the size of the aircraft. I mean, even the flight deck's quite wide, isn't it? And the taxiway looks really small. I'm always worried about overrunning it. I mean, did you guys see the other week that Luton aircraft, the EasyJet one, went round a corner, cut the corner, and the wheel went into the mud. They had to get it towed out. I think that was a 320neo, which was quite funny. Thank God we can't do that in the sim. Right, so we're on Delta. Let's have a look outside and see. Look how wide the engines just about fit into the sort of the width of the taxiway. Brilliant. The PMDG's handled this flight brilliantly as well. Not a single problem. Been really nice. And that hand flying at the end was nice as well. And the fire station's on the right hand side shortly. You can see that. stand 9 is the actual closest stand that we're going to go to in a second. It's on the corner. Just that one right there in front of us. It's the only one that can fit a heavy. The rest are sort of, I mean, Newcastle's a very small airport anyway. It's Jet to TUI, Ryanair, EasyJet, that's it here, and KLM do Amsterdam flights as well, I think. I think they send in the Emirates and the ARJs. And then Aer Lingus Connect, the ATRs fly here as well. That's about it really, I think. And that's all they get. I think Jet2 and TUI only operate 737s out of here. TUI operate 78 occasionally for accidentally, you know, deploy the first reversers. Yeah, that's the biggest aircraft that has operations here as well, 78-8. Ryanair fly the 737-800 and the MAX. Aer Lingus, the ATR-72. So it's not really, so this is sort of a strange flight to have in here. I wonder how busy these flights are actually as well. So stand 9 here. I'll have to go outside shortly and marshal myself in because we don't have GSX. And this marshaller here that comes with the Orbx scenery isn't correct. He'll stop us in a minute, but we need to go to that stopping mark right on the end, not the one that is stopped. Right outside. Sorry for the loud noise. There we are. Just set the parking brake. And engine number 1 and 2 kick them off. APU is already available. The passenger signs can be turned off. Hydraulics can be turned off as well. We'll get the fuel pumps off, and the beacon light off, and the taxi light. And that is us down, finished in Newcastle. So we get some ground services. We decanter the aircraft. Right, so we go, not that one, ground services, come on. So we'll go ground services, select chocks, and we'll wait for the to appear there. We'll go aft galley. We'll just get them all actually. They would usually appear now, wouldn't they? Lavatory, everything. Right, let's go outside, have a look. Brilliant, look at that for a scene. That looks nice. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I did. I love flying the PMDG, it's such a rewarding aeroplane to fly, it's brilliant. Both soon has been nice, the flight's been lovely. If you've got any requests or flights I'd like to do, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comments. I hope you've been enjoying the content this week so far and for the past couple of weeks. I've tried to mix it up a bit with some different types of videos that I hope you're enjoying. But I've gone back to the normal format of just doing my full flights. I really wanted to do this flight. So thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys hopefully soon in the next video.